I swear I just wish she'd disappear. She's unbearable, always provoking conflict, always tightening the tension in this house, always exhausting everyone around her. Every single day brings a new irritation. Oh, completely, another voice. Agreed casually. Let's just get rid of her. I've already thought of something. Leave it to me. My husband's voice sliced through the air, calm and deliberate. And then came my mother-in-law's sharp, delighted laugh from the living room. It rang out cold and cruel, cutting straight through me. My heart dropped. My knees weakened. I couldn't move. Just minutes earlier, I'd been standing outside the front door, smiling to myself. I had been genuinely excited to come home after 2 weeks away. I'd even stopped at the duty-free shop to buy Jake's favorite bourbon, imagining a quiet evening, maybe a shared drink, maybe a rare moment of closeness. I'd pictured us sitting together like we used to, reconnecting, pretending things were normal again. I'd held on to that image the entire train ride home. But the moment I stepped inside, their voices shattered it completely. They weren't just complaining about me. They were planning how to remove me. 10 years, 10 full years of my life poured into this family. And in that instant, it all felt reduced to dust. I thought of the countless mornings I'd woken before sunrise to prepare breakfast. The late nights spent cooking meals customized to their exact preferences. The weekends sacrificed to planning menus, organizing gatherings, smoothing over tensions that weren't even mine to fix. My chest ached. Madison, my mother-in-law, never failed to dismantle my efforts. She'd inspect the food with a curled lip and sneer. Meals made by someone with no refinement aren't suitable for us, dismissing hours of work with a flick of her hand. And every time I swallowed my pride and tried again. A month earlier, on my birthday, Jake hadn't come home for dinner. He claimed work had kept him late. Later, I learned the truth. He'd been dining out with Madison at an upscale restaurant. No call, no message. Standing frozen in the hallway now, the grief and fury I'd buried for a decade surged forward all at once. They laughed easily in the living room, discussing ways to push me out as if I were nothing more than a logistical inconvenience. I clenched the handle of my suitcase until my fingers ached. My name is Sarah Green. I'm 35 years old. I'm an architect of profession. I've dedicated my life to. My career has taken me across the world. Paris, New York, Dubai. I design spaces meant to inspire, to heal, to bring people together. Madison knows none of that. To her, a woman's value exists only inside the home. My work is, in her eyes, a hobby, a little side task I do to help out. She has no idea who I am beyond the role she assigned me. I still carry my father's words with me. He believed architecture could shape lives, could warm hearts. Beauty in design is beauty. In life, he used to say. When I lost both my parents in a car accident at 15, those words became my anchor. I excelled in college. I secured a position at a world-renowned firm. My 20s were filled with purpose and achievement. Romance wasn't even a thought. Then I met Jake. He seemed different, attentive, curious. When I told him what I did, his eyes lit up. Architecture? That's incredible, he said, genuinely impressed. For the first time in a long while, I felt truly seen. I believed him. I believed us. I married him, thinking I'd finally found the warmth of family I'd been missing for so long. We moved into a small apartment together, spent weekends decorating, choosing curtains, placing a single plant on the windowsill. It was modest, but it felt real. That feeling didn't last. Less than a month after the wedding, Madison moved in without asking. I can't stand being alone anymore, she sobbed. Jake hesitated, guilt written all over his face. His father had passed before I met him, and I understood that pain, so I tried. I truly tried. I cooked. I cleaned. I gave up rest days. I bent myself thinner and thinner. It was never enough. Madison saw me as competition. Every effort I made was mocked, undone, or turned against me. Indifference became hostility. This soup is bland, she remarked one evening. Jake, how are you supposed to stay healthy eating like this? I'm sorry, I whispered. holding back tears. Then came the jabs about my laundry. My work, my worth. You know, men start looking elsewhere when their wives are too busy, she said lightly. Especially good men like Jake. Sometimes Jake tried weakly to defend me, but one glare from Madison and he folded every time. Still, I hoped. I told Jake about my dream of starting my own firm. For a moment he seemed proud, truly proud. Then I landed a major project, one that could define my career. His initial excitement faded quickly. Just don't forget things here at home, he said quietly. Mom's worried. And Madison appeared, right on cue. That night, everything broke. She summoned me into the living room. The smell of alcohol hung heavy. Jake sat rigid. Madison smiled. Are you really traveling for work? She asked sweetly. Or is there something else going on? Then she placed a document on the table. Divorce papers. Jake's signature already written. I stared at it, my heart pounding. We're just keeping it ready, Madison said smugly. I looked at Jake, searching for the man I married. He didn't meet my eyes. I didn't sign that night. I wasn't ready, not yet. I left soon after for a 2-week work trip to Dubai, hoping distance would give me clarity. During my trip, an email arrived that stopped me in my tracks. Miss Green, congratulations, your project has been shortlisted for this year's International Architecture Award. You are really first American woman to reach this level. My heart raced with pride and excitement. Dad's words echoed in my architecture has the power to heal, to bring people together. As my taxi rolled through Dubai's dazzling streets, I imagined Jake's face when I told him this would finally make him understand how much my career meant to him. Maybe this time he'd be proud. But when I arrived home that evening, I heard laughter coming from the living room. I pushed open the door, catching Jake's voice mid-sentence. Oh God, I wish she'd just disappear. I can't stand living on edge every single day. Madison's syrupy sweet voice followed, laced with venom. Then why don't we make her go? Don't worry, honey, I've got a plan. The suitcase in my hand felt suddenly heavy as their words sank in. My heart plummeted. I'd come home eager to share me triumph, only to find them plotting against me. My hands trembled as I stood frozen, unable to breathe. 10 years of my life had been poured into this family. 10 years of early mornings, late nights, weekends spent cooking and cleaning, making sure everyone else was happy, and no, they wanted to cast me out like I was nothing. I clutched the email on my phone, the award notification that should have been a moment of celebration. Their laughter echoed in the background, sharp and mocking, until a cold realization washed over me. This time, I wasn't just leaving, I was ending this chapter on my own terms. That night, while they slept, I packed up my essentials. I left behind anything Tito, the past, the gifts, the memories, even me wedding ring. Quietly, I slipped out the door, whispering a final farewell. 2 days later, I requested a meeting with Jake and Madison at a luxury hotel downtown. The 30th floor conference room overlooked the city, a perfect backdrop for what was about to unfold. Dressed in a sharp suit, I arrived dearly, meticulously laying out documents on the table. My award notification project, contracts, and signed divorce papers. When Jake and Madison walked in, their faces were a mixture of confused confusion and unease. Jake looked disheveled, his shirt wrinkled, while Madison's usual smugness had given way to suspicion. Please sit, what's all this, Sarah? Madison asked, her tone dismissive, in kind of last-ditch effort. I remained calm, meeting her gaze. I wanted you both here for closure and to clarify a few things. I slid the award notification across the table. I recently learned I'm a finalist for an International Architecture Award. It's one of the highest honors in my field. My father and I dreamed at this moment for years. Really? Madison sneered. You never mentioned it. I wanted to share it with me family, but you both made it clear where I stand. Reaching for my phone, I played the recording of their cruel words. The room filled with their voices, Jake's bitterness, Madison's venomous plotting. Jake looked horrified. Sarah, that was taken out of context. There's no misunderstanding, I interrupted. I know exactly how you feel about me. I slid the signed divorce papers across the tablights over. Jake reached for my hand, desperation in his eyes. Sarah, wait. Madison's composure shattered. Good riddance. You think you're better than US best of some fancy job and an award? No, Madison, I said, my voice firm. I don't think I'm better than you, but I do know me worth, and it's not here with that. I gathered my things and walked away, leaving them both in stunned silence. As he stepped into the elevator, I felt feet Of years of disappointment lift-tone month later, I began my new life in a high-rise apartment overlooking the city, building a reflection of my passion-featured elegant architecture and stunning views, an embodiment of everything I loved about design. Every morning I'd stand by the window, coffee in hand, and marvel at the vibrant city below. This life was mine, built on my terms. I reconnected with old friends, took on exciting new projects, and opened me own architecture office downtown. My work thrived, and I embraced the thrill of each new challenge. At the end International Architecture Awards, when me name was called as the winner, the applause was thunderous. Standing on stage holding the award in my hands, I felt a surge of pride and nostalgia. This moment was everything my father and I had dreamed of. Every painful experience had shaped me into someone stronger, independent, and unshakable. As I gazed out over the audience, I knew I was exactly where I was meant to be. The weight of the past had finally lifted, and the world ahead was full of possibility. The world was my canvas, and I was ready to design a life truly worth living.